Chef Veronica for our 5th session in our community day.
Hi,
Welcome
everyone.
you again.
Thanks for coming.
Yep, I know we're a little bit behind, so please, the floor is yours.
No, yeah. Today's dish is soft tofu that's not spicy, and it's very easy and quick to make, so it's okay. I think we're gonna do fine with the timing. So let's get going. Okay, so what we need, what I'm using today is clams, a dozen clams, zucchini, oops, some white button mushrooms. You could use any kind of mushrooms, and soft tofu, and probably a cup of water and some salt. First, I'm going to get, and today I'm using a stone bowl. This is very Korean, but I think Chinese, you guys have clay pots too. And
we do.
I think you can use clay pots.
Where did you get the stone pot?
I got it from Korean market, just down the street from me. In Florida, I was very happy to find them around the corner. So I'm gonna fill the pot with like half the pot. So I think it's gonna be like 2.5 cups. 1, 2. I think 2 cups is good enough. No, half, 2.5. There we go. Just like so. And I'm gonna just put it on the stove on high heat so it heats up while we prepare the rest of the ingredients. So I pre-washed my clams using a little scrub. I think you can use any kind of vegetable scrub, and I just, run it under the water and try to get all the like slimy and sandy stuff, just like that, and keep them in the refrigerator. And zucchini, we're gonna cut it up. Can you see? No. Sorry. There we go. I'm just gonna cut the zucchini. This zucchini is kind of big, and I think I'm gonna just use about half of it. I'm gonna cut it in half and then in quarters. And about 1/2 inch thickness. You don't, because it becomes mush once it's cooked, and I want something to chew on. So I'm just gonna cut it like so. And if anybody wants recipe, let me know. I could send it over to you. Then, my mushroom. Oops. I'm just cutting the ends off. And throwing away unintentionally half of my mushrooms. I think you could even eat the bottom half, but it just looks unappealing. So I'm not going to eat them.
But we just had a topic on food waste last session.
I know. Yeah, and she would say save it and make broth, but no, these don't look good, so they're going to garbage can. Okay. Now I should have picked a better pack of mushrooms, but it's so hard to see through the packaging. But good enough. And I don't know. I read somewhere that the most beautiful Chinese empress ate a lot of tofu and soft tofu. So I don't know if it's true or not, but you will. I hope it will help us, maintain our waistline in check. And I'm not using like much salt or other kind of condiments because the clam will give us enough flavor. So it's very easy to make. The most difficult part of it is, getting the clams. Hope you guys have a good market to go to for fresh seafood. Okay. And I'm just gonna roughly cut them. Tofu is gonna get mashed up anyway, so it really doesn't matter how you cut them. Okay. Yeah, that's, oh, and chili pepper is optional. I'm gonna keep it out, but if you want a little bit of spiciness, you could just slice it and put it in. And if you have chives, you could also use chives as topping at the end of the process. Okay, there we go. So the water is boiling already. And I'm just gonna drop these clams. I'm sorry. Whenever I cook seafood, the water is boiling, so hopefully they'll go quick. Okay, I'm putting 1 dozen. More clam, more flavor. So I'm gonna just close the lid, maybe 2 minutes. And transfer my, oh, sorry guys, that's my dog. He's been barking at anything lately. Toby, shh. Thank you.
We love you, dog.
Good boy. Good boy. Maybe he needs a treat. Let me go get him a treat. Hey, Toby, go get it. Thank you. Okay, I think it's ready. Yeah, because clam cooks fairly quickly, so I'm going to put the vegetables in and let them cook together. And if you don't want the clam shells in your soup, cook the clams thoroughly and take them out, save the juice, and deshell them, and then add it at the end of the whole cooking process. Yeah, but I don't mind the shells. I'm gonna just leave it in. Let it cook for until the clams open up. And where's my salt? You could either add salt or fish sauce to your taste. I'm just gonna add salt today. And let's see, it's not boiling yet, so I'm gonna let it cook a little more. How's the weather out in California?
It's hot here. We're going through a heat wave.
Like, what's the temperature?
Well, where I am is about 95 degrees right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 95 degrees. Let me see.
I don't know what the temperature is here, but it's hot here too.
You're in Florida, so.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 98 degrees right now. I just looked it up.
Wow.
And there are people there was a fire in Redwood City up the hill. So a lot of people.
Oh, no. I hope this year is better with all that fire in the West. It's been horrible. Okay. Let it cook. It's not boiling yet. We're waiting, but really, once it starts boiling and the clams open up and you throw in the tofu and the mushrooms and let it cook for another, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and it's done. I think this dish is easier than ramen noodles.
How do you make it, the flavor? Is it based on the sauce?
No, the flavor is going to come from the clams.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Clam has enough briny flavor. So you don't need any other kind of dashi. And should you not have any clams, you can use shrimp, you can use scallops, and you could add, to give it a flavor, you could add like a tablespoon or 2 of fish sauce. Usually fish sauce has very briny flavor. Still cooking. Yeah. And it's clear broth and it's not spicy. So hopefully you'll make some and try this tofu soup. And you could have it with rice or you could have it by itself. Any questions so far? No. Okay, good.
Can you put meat in it? Would it taste
Yes.
right if you put pork along with it?
You should, if you want to, because this is clear broth, I wouldn't do meat.
Right.
But if you want to do meat, you can use chili powder and garlic, and cook the meat and the chili powder and garlic with a tablespoon of oil, cooking oil, and stir it around, and then add the water.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
And can I make the dish spicy?
Yes. So if you want to keep the white broth, you would add spiciness by adding chili, dry or fresh, or jalapeno even, or what is it? Serrano peppers or Thai chili peppers. And if you want the red soup base, then you would have to use the chili powder. And you cook the chili powder to get the oil in the cooking oil with garlic with the meat first, while you're stir frying it before you add the water to the pot. Okay, almost there. The stone pot takes a little bit more longer to heat up than your stainless steel or aluminum.
Yeah, stone pot. What is the effect of the stone pot? It just keeps it steamed, or?
You know what? I think it keeps the heat longer.
Right.
And usually Koreans, once it's cooked in stone pot, they'll serve the pot to the, they'll bring the pot to the table.
Oh, okay.
They won't scoop it out and put it in
Right.
a bowl. So while it's on the table, it keeps it warm longer.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Still not boiling. Oh, he's back.
And Toby wants some tofu dish.
He stole, what did you steal? Oh, we have a guava tree in my yard, and there was one big ripened guava that I was waiting for. And guess who got to it first?
Toby.
Yes. He ate like half of it. You like guava? Okay, it's getting warmer. Going to open it and check. There we go.
Oh, wow. That looks delicious. That looks good.
And since it's cooking, I'm going to put in the mushrooms. I'm going to put some first and the tofu on top of the mushrooms. Oh, Toby. I think I might have put in too much clam, but that's okay. I'll let it go. And should you, what I do, put in too much water, you could just, scoop up the water. Okay. Let it cook longer. All the clams are open, which means they're cooked. So I'm going to lower the heat and let it cook for another 4 minutes. And while you're waiting, you could if you can't, scoop out the foamy stuff on top. I don't think you have to worry about the foamy part, but I think it looks better without it. I'm gonna try to put the tofu to the bottom. And at this point, I'm gonna just give it a little taste. You see how much salt I need to add. It doesn't need any more salt.
Oh, okay. So do you think it's the clam that's salty?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Mm-hmm. The flavor and the salt from the clam is good enough.
So Veronica, I bought some clam that's in a bag that's already been shelled. Are those okay to use too?
You may, because they've been washed and processed, you may need to add salt or fish sauce to give it a briny taste. Yes, you can. Or you could put in fish, or you don't have to just use one type of seafood. You could add shrimp, scallops, clams, mussels, all kinds of seafood. to make the white non-spicy tofu. Yeah. I'm gonna let it cook for another 2 minutes and we're done. And if you don't have any vegetables or seafood, you can just simply boil the soft tofu in water, maybe a cup of water for 1 package of soft tofu, and mix chives, sesame oil, and soy sauce, and just sprinkle it on top of it, and eat the tofu that way. That used to be one of my childhood favorite. Yeah, you can do so much with soft tofu. Okay, 1 more minute and it's done. I think this went too fast.
Yeah, I really like you showing us very easy dish to make.
I don't like things that are difficult to make or complicated. If it's simple to make and it's good, that's what I like. Yeah, life is busy.
Life
There are things to do besides being in the kitchen. So simpler the better. Yeah, it's done. And whatever's left over, you can keep it in the refrigerator for another day and reheat it. And I think keeping it overnight like that, it would add to the flavor of the soup. So you can make more than 1 or 2 portions at a time, and just keep it in the refrigerator.
So you eat it with rice, over rice or over noodles?
Usually with rice or just by itself.
Okay.
If you're watching your carb consumption. Yeah, this dish is done.
Great.
I'm gonna
watch you take the zip.
Let me see. Simple. And it's very hearty and delicious. How can you go wrong with clams?
Thank you so much, Chef Veronica. Until next time.
Thank you for coming.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Veronica.